Hello, welcome again to the Ref Show. What have we got this week? We've got derbies plenty. We've got a diving debate, one incident in the Premier League this weekend, and we've got Jose Mourinho sent off in a match, but goodness me, what on earth was that about and what was it for? Keith Hackett and Mark Lawrenson are with me. But let's start off with Wayne Rooney and an incident which seems to have divided opinion. That was in Everton's home win against Bournemouth. He was certainly struck by Simon Francis in the area, certainly struck by Simon Francis's arm, ended up really bloodied, Mark. It looked quite a serious incident at the time. Martin Atkinson ignored it.
Yeah,
was he right?
I think so. It was just like, because he didn't, think about the Bournemouth player, he didn't screw his fist up, did he? Right. So it was just flat. It's just one of those unfortunate accidents. And, you know, sometimes it was just like a nick.
Yeah,
and they bleed more. NHS. They bleed more than normally. It looked really, really bad. No, I don't. And he never looked at the player. No, I wouldn't. I think he was right, Martin Atkinson.
Yeah, considering the amount of blood, which was quite extreme for that little nip, Martin Atkinson do well not to overreact.
I think he was in a good position. He saw what happened. I mean, you know, it is a contact sport. But we do get injuries, and I think that one was clearly a player going for the ball. And Rooney being in the way and copying it. So I didn't see anything malicious in it. I didn't see any sort of putting the health and safety of the player at risk, although he got a cut eye.
Yeah.
I think the player just went for the ball and it was an accident.
So no red card, but should it have been a penalty? Is there a case for it or not?
I don't think so. I don't think. Okay. So, you know, the other thing as well, at the end of the game, because Everton won, didn't get a mention. Funny that, isn't it?
It is.
If it had been 0-0 or they'd been beaten, it would have been, Koeman would have been out going, oh, hold on a minute.
Yeah. Okay, so we praise the referee on that one. I think generally, Keith, I'm actually looking across the weekend, again, referees, not for the first time this season, have had a good weekend.
Yeah, I think this is down to selection.
Do you?
I think they're carefully selecting the referees. I mean, Swarbrick out again, delivered another top-class performance. Get him out next week. Keep these guys rolling whilst they're performing well. And certainly did that. I think there was a blemish in Anthony Taylor's game.
We'll come to that.
Leicester-Liverpool.
Yeah, that's the talking point. We'll come to that. But you talk about selection. Michael Oliver had a London derby the previous weekend, which he did really well in. So he gets another one. There's a continuity there. West Ham 2, Spurs 3.
Good referee. He's in form. I just would like him to put his foot on the ball occasionally. I think there are times that he takes a risk without having the need to take a risk. That doesn't mean to say he's got to come in the game, allow the game to flow, but if he sees some players beginning to lose it a little bit, getting a bit frustrated, a good referee will either have a quiet word or just stop it.
You agree with that?
Yeah, well, there was a handbags moment towards the end when West Ham were chasing the game, wasn't
There's nothing in it, really.
Absolutely nothing in it. The problem is, and when you start to get goalkeepers running 70 metres to join in, what is all that about?
It was pretty pathetic, really, wasn't it?
I would have said so. And especially for that game, because they seriously hate each other, those two lots.
Yeah.
So, I thought he did well.
Flurry of yellow cards in that incident. Otherwise, it was just the sending off of Serge Aurier with 2 yellows, which was pretty standard. Stupidity from the player?
Well,
Pochettino sort of said as much, didn't he?
Yeah, no complaints. So, derbies, other ones, the Old Firm derby, Celtic winning 2-0 at Rangers, I suppose no surprise there. And Craig Thompson, who's often at the centre of these, came out well on the RefCam blog by Rob Harris, who said it was a big game performance, strong management and control. What did you think?
I thought the same. I mean, there's a lot of huff and puff, isn't there? I mean, Scottish football is no longer what it used to be, in my opinion.
No.
Because in the past, it was blood and thunder with about 3 ambulances on standby.
It was more thud and blunder, I think.
Yeah, you're probably right. But
thud and blunder.
You know, there's a lot of. I mean, look, they're passionate supporters. We can understand that, but there is a gap in there between Celtic and Rangers.
It's a chasm.
Right, and has the old rivalry or the intensity of it gone because they meet just so often?
No. Have you ever been?
No, I haven't. It's a bucket list.
Yeah, you've got to go.
Even though it's 4 times, 5 times a season?
It's bonkers.
Every time?
It's absolutely, the whole thing is bonkers, honestly, but it's great.
Have you've been to it?
I tell you.
As a neutral, it's great, isn't it?
I mean, you finish up watching the spectators.
Yeah.
Both arriving at the ground, coming away from the ground and in the ground itself. It's just like it is.
But on the field doesn't represent that, though. It seems now.
Now the other thing is, I mean, if you think about when Rangers were a really top side, when Graham Souness was manager and Walter Smith and those, they had top. Well, they were better than Celtic, weren't they? But it was much closer. And by the way, the tackles were unreal.
Yeah.
But one of the funniest things I ever saw, it was at Ibrox, and Celtic had qualified would have been the UEFA Cup final against Jose's team, Porto. Yeah. And they turn up and they chucked him behind the goal, right? And they had, I don't know how they did it, they had kind of donkeys, they had like sun hats, lilos, because they were going to, I think the final was in Seville. Yeah. And so they got all this abuse from the Rangers supporters, and they had a beach ball, and it was just, stood there as a neutral, sat there as a neutral. It was really, really funny. Obviously, the Rangers were going mad, but the Celtic punters were like, it was great. It was great.
Yeah, wonderful. So keep your eyes off the field for an Old Firm.
There's not a lot happens on it, but Celtic score and win, and that's it.
Right. We've got Brighton Newcastle coming up, and Andre Mariner, and one incident in particular to raise with that. But just to complete the derbies, I was at the Sheffield derby, obviously, at Hillsborough. One of the most entertaining for years. 6 goals, wide open. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Sheffield United 4. Brilliant and deserved victory for
good side, Sheffield United.
Team. I know that on the quiet a few weeks ago, you said to me that you fancied them for the playoffs. They're well in playoff territory at the moment.
Yeah, and I would think, it's a well-run club, isn't it? If January they're there or thereabouts, they'd probably take a couple of loan players and pay them decent money from higher levels. So I just love the way they're set up. By the way, they have a real go. Yes. They will not be dying for lack of trying, those lads. So I'm impressed with them.
Yeah, a big window coming up, but they did what Chris Wilder said they would do, and which they do in every game, and that's go for it, straight from the off, 2 up in no time. Yeah. And Sheffield Wednesday were very poor, particularly at the back. But the referee, this is a high intensity game normally. You know it of old, Keith, and of course you're a Sheffield Wednesday fan, licking your wounds a bit today. Just a bit. 3 yellow cards. Simon Hooper was in charge. Now, not a single element of controversy, argument, contention, anything about his performance.
Well, I hold my hand up because I thought this was earmarked for a Premier League referee, SG1. And when I saw Simon Hooper, I'm thinking, whoa, because I'd watched him last year. I thought he was carrying a bit of timber and a bit off the pace. When I saw him run out at Hillsborough, I've gone, wow, he's done something in the summer that we would have wanted him to do had we been managing him. I thought his performance was the performance of a referee this season. I thought he handled the game absolutely superbly. He let it breathe. He had the right sense of a smile when required, when he was going to talk to a player. He didn't make a big scene on anything. No. And I think that his judgment, when he needed to make those judgments on free kicks close to penalty area, particularly the first one on the free kick, which is important, absolutely spot on. Manage the free kick, manage the players. What a spectacular goal.
Yeah. The
other thing, Alan, is if I'm not a gambling man, but if you've gone to bookies, the odds of there only being 3 yellows in that game,
absolutely,
very high.
Yeah, indeed.
Very high.
And so, as Keith says, it reflects on his performance in that game. And does it also reflect that, okay, you were expecting a Premier League referee to be selected, but isn't it right that a top Football League game gets a high-performing Football League referee?
How else do you get in the Premier League if you don't ref it?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is reward for doing that on this occasion.
Well, he'll have a big tick, won't he, now? So
yeah.
Well, I think
that's as big as any.
He's been on the edge of getting into the Premier League as I've seen it from a distance. I just think now they need to draft him in. They're so short of referees. That's probably why he got the role.
Yeah.
And he's delivered. So he can't do any more than actually deliver on the day. It was always going to be, if he made one error yesterday, we were going to jump on him as Sheffield Wednesday fans because we were going to blame him.
You were. I've stayed neutral. Yeah.
Not the team or the fact you conceded 4 at home. But.
Oh, we were.
Right. Well, still to come, several more Premier League games, a few in the Championship, 2 of your old clubs meeting over the weekend, Brighton and Newcastle, one particular incident in that. Jose Mourinho sent to the stands and a diving incident. We've had very few of those. This was at Burnley, Huddersfield. So do rejoin us for part 2 with Mark and with Keith. We'll see you then.